Hey there, colleague. How in the world's it going? I want to talk to you today about something that might seem kind of negative, but it's surprising how many things that we can learn from anti-examples of things that we're trying to get better at. So what is one of the most damaging things that you can do for your credibility as a teacher? That's what I want to talk about. And we actually do have some research on this. Link in the description, but researchers did a study where they looked at the effect of teacher misbehaviors on teacher credibility. And they clumped the misbehaviors into three categories. There were the indolent misbehaviors, which are just things like turning papers back late, making tests too easy, starting class late. These behaviors are just where students kind of perceive, you kind of don't care, you're kind of lazy. Those are indolent misbehaviors. The next category was incompetent misbehaviors. So this is stuff like you keep saying things incorrectly, mispronouncing student names, you mess up the grade book a million times. So those are incompetent misbehaviors. Then the third category were offensive misbehaviors. So this is anything from mocking a student to embarrassing them, humiliating them, acting like you have favorites, taking forever to learn their names. And what the researchers found is that all three categories of misbehavior did harm credibility, but none of them harmed credibility quite so much as offensive misbehaviors. So offensive misbehaviors are the number one thing that we want to keep our radar looking out for as we go about our year as a teacher. And here's something that I just accept as a teacher. I'm going to offend somebody this school year. It's going to happen. I teach over 100 students every year, thousands and thousands and thousands of minutes together with all this diverse collection of people, all experiencing very complex lives and intersecting during our class periods every day for 180 days straight. It's guaranteed that I'm going to say something the wrong way, say something when a student is having a bad day, say something that another student hears and this student feels conscious about that. I'm going to offend somebody. So I'm not careless about that. I don't want to offend anybody because it will create extra work for me, but I do accept that it's going to happen, and so I keep my eyes out for it. The thing to look out for is students' affect suddenly changes. They kind of withdraw from you. They stop coming to your class as much. They aren't raising their hand. You look over their shoulder at their work and they kind of intentionally maybe stop working. All these little things are signals that something may have happened between the two of you relationally. And so what I typically do in that situation is I just directly try to figure it out. So I'll say, hey, Nisha, can you come in the hallway, please? And I'll say, Nisha, I've just noticed that your affect has changed. I won't say affect. I've noticed that you've been acting a little bit differently in class, and I'm just kind of trying to think. I'm wondering if I did anything that might have offended you or embarrassed you, because, sometimes I can do that without meaning to, and it's really important to me that if I did something to you, I want to know, because I want to do better. And so maybe in this case, Nisha tells you what happened. Maybe in this case, she doesn't. But even if she doesn't, I'm going to say, well, listen, if I ever do embarrass you, I just want you to know that I respect you. I do not want to make this a bad place for you in any way. I have no interest in you ever feeling humiliated or embarrassed. So if I do ever make you feel like that, can you just let me know? And so even if she's not ready to talk about what happened, and even if nothing happened, I've at least had a moment of genuine connection with her to let her know that I'm thinking about you and I do value you. So even if I'm wrong and I misinterpreted and I haven't offended her, I've done something that was worth the 30 seconds. But if I'm right, then I've done something that can really change the trajectory for that student in my class, because I've basically repaired the misbehavior that I did of offending. And look, I hope you can tell, this is not something that I take inside of myself. If I offend somebody, I don't sit there and beat myself up. I analyze the situation. I try to understand as best I can what happened so that I can avoid it in the future. But the thing about being offended is that it's highly subjective, right? The thing that I say that offends you may not offend your twin sibling, because even with your twin sibling, you're not the same person. So there's a million little things that go into offending someone. And we just have to accept that we don't have control over whether or not we offend, but we do have control over whether or not we attempt to repair. You know what I'm saying? Well, I love to make videos about dynamite ideas like the study on teacher misbehaviors and how they influence credibility. So if you want to never miss those, make sure you subscribe. And if you like the video, click like. And if you have a cool story to tell or a question to ask, just be in touch in the comments. I see all of those and I try to respond to everyone. Take care. Really appreciate you. And I hope that today your experience as a teacher will be a little bit better than it was yesterday.